Howdy, y'all, and a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers celebrating out there. Happy birthday to anybody who may as well be celebrating a birthday today. This is Derek Egler, and this is my new show called What's on Tap. This is episode numero uno, number one out there. Just going to bring you a show where I'm going to drink some beer, try some beers. Many of them may not be beers you've ever heard of or ever experienced, so I just want to bring that experience to you. I know that not many people out there are probably like myself, and you buy a beer or get a new beer or a limited release beer or whatnot, and they say, drink now, don't put this away, it's non-cellarable, cellarable, all that. That kind of things come out over the years. Back when I started doing this in 2008, 2007, 2009, those years, they really didn't tell you, hey, you can, put this away and age it. You can't. I've aged all kinds of beers out there. Everything you could possibly think of, I've probably aged it. There's a lot I haven't aged. When I say I've aged a lot, you can't really age a Bud Light or a Coors Light or those. They just get skunk on you. But some of your high ABV beers, the majority of those you can put in a cellar for a few years or age them. Big rule of thumb, if you want to age it, age it. There's going to be recommendations on some bottles that say, hey, you cellar it, you can't cellar it. Those are kind of just like speed limits, in my opinion. If the speed limit says 55 and you're not going 60, chances are I'm probably going to pass you. Not in every instance, but the majority of the time. So if I grab a beer and it says non-cellarable, chances are I'm going to have a six-pack. One or two of those bad boys is going to be put away for 6 months, a year and a half, whatever it may be. But I just want to bring everyone some of my experiences. Some of these beers are pretty vintage, pretty old. I will say that there is a number one beer on my list of best beers I've ever drank, and it is going to be revealed sometime throughout this. I don't plan on being a one and done. Like I said, this is episode one of What's on Tap, and after that brief little rant, I'm going to get into drinking a beer. So I'm going to show you guys a real special one that I've got on tap right now. So just 1 second, I'll be right back. Stay right there. Forgot my bottle opener. Gonna have to grab that. Check this bad boy out. This happens to be 2010 Sierra Nevada Celebration Ale. It is a fresh hop ale. It is Sierra Nevada. It is 2010. No doubt about it there. That's a Celebration 2010. This one's fresh hop ale, Celebration Ale. It's a special ale for the holidays, featuring the first hops of the growing season. Good stuff here. This pioneering IPA full of complex flavors and aromas from the generous use of whole cone American hops. Now I'm going to be honest with you, this is a 10-year-old beer. It's been in my cellar for those years. I've aged it properly. Like I said, I've aged a lot of beers, drank a lot of beers. That's what we're going to do on this show. We're gonna introduce everybody to new and maybe not normal beers that you have every day. I might shoot a few everydayers in there, here and there, but for the most part, I'm going to go with the beers that a lot of you aren't drinking or haven't drank, maybe never heard of. But this, like I said, you're not going to find this in the stores. You're not going to be able to go out to your local 7-Eleven or your local liquor store and find this beer. It's not happening. This is a 2010 brew. It's now May 10th, 2020, so this is 10 years old. I'm trying to find the ABV on this. Like I said, higher ABVs usually age really well. This one I'm not finding. Oh, there we go. 6.8 by volume ale. So, this might taste horrible. It might be one of the best, but we're gonna find out, and I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about it. We're gonna rate it, and maybe just sit here and shoot the breeze for a minute. All right. Now, like I said, this is 2010. I tend to smell the cap. If the cap smells good, then you're usually good. At least in my opinion, that's how it is. This bottle, there's quite a bit of dust down that bottle. I'll tell you what, don't let that fool you about what's inside here, because that is some sweet nectar in here. You better believe it. Now, I'll smell it still. Amazingly, it smells like it did. I've had a few of these over the years. These celebration ales. Sierra Nevada does a great job. If you're a hophead, you're not drinking, or you haven't tried Sierra Nevada, then you are missing out. I know they go with the Dogfish 120s as being the holy grail for hopheads. I'm actually aging 2 of those right now. One of them's a year, and the other one's a year and a half. So I'm going to break those out on one of these episodes coming up. You're going to get a Dogfish 120 breakout that's been aged, but I'm not going to do the year and a half. I'm going to wait longer on those. I think that kind of quality IPA does definitely deserve a longer cellar rate there. This one, 10 years, I might have overdone it. We're going to find out, though. It smells very very piney, very robust. Wow. Whoa. I myself, I'm not a huge hophead, but this is smooth. This honest to God, 2010, and you can see it a lot better there. A 2010 celebration ale, okay? So this was made around the holiday season, probably Thanksgiving, of 10, I would say, probably before then, maybe even October. I don't know Sierra Nevada's bottling schedule by any means. Definitely something I could find out, though. But holy cow, in the immortal words of Harry Carey, this is a damn good beer. You wouldn't be able to get this in any bar in the United States, guaranteed. You very unlikely, unless you run into some liquor store that's been closed down since 2010 and nobody's taking the alcohol out of it, you might be able to find this. If you look real hard on the internet, somebody might be selling them. I don't think that's legal to do, but there's ways, to do those kind of things. But man, oh my, this is there's a lot of molasses notes there when you just smell it, along with that pine. But the real piney IPA, the smell, extremely subtle. You barely even smell it. Like I said, it's honestly like you just opened up some molasses, and that's exactly what it smells like. It is molasses. But you get a real little bit of a real little hint of the hops in there, but it's more or less overwhelmed by a molasses flavor. Now, me personally, I've got my beer glass here. I like to take a few swigs out when I'm drinking it, just because I do, and then I like to pour some in a bottle. In a glass. I really think that beers have different flavors. If you drink it out of a cup or a glass compared to the bottle, and this stuff's good to the last drop. I mean, I'm not wasting any of this stuff. This is 2010, 10-year-old beer right here. If anybody tells you not to age a beer, do it. I'm saying do it. It might taste better. There's instances where I've had beers that have tasted worse aged than not. But the percentage for me has been a lot greater aging a beer and seeing how it comes out compared to them not coming out good. And I've been told beer is beer. That's a lie. That's definitely not a true statement, because not every beer is created equal. Like I said before, Sierra Nevada does a great job with the hops, the IPAs, the hoppier beers. Not really huge on the IPAs, but I found for my taste personally that aging an IPA for an extended period of time really, really takes that hoppiness down, really brings out the full flavor of the beer. And this one, you see, it's a nice, real nice, I mean, copper color, real good. I mean, good color. A little bit more citrus notes and pine, overpowering now out of the glass compared to the bottle that was more molasses. Very light on the pininess, the hoppiness. It's sweet. I mean, it smells sweet. Ooh. And that's good. I don't know if you can see any of the sediment in there or not, um, but there is some sediment floating around. Probably some old yeast or some of the other finest ingredients that they put into this bad boy. But it's not gonna hurt you. You'll be fine. I know with everybody dealing with this Rona, the Rona is just really taking over a lot of things, and I've heard that a lot of your smaller craft breweries are going to have to shut their doors. I've been reading a lot about that. That's something that really gets to me, considering that a lot of the smaller breweries, they kick out one hell of a product on the majority of things I've tried at local craft breweries, and I've tried local craft breweries all around. There's a bunch of them. I say that if you go to on a vacation or you're going to somewhere new, stop by the liquor store or wherever you want to go for beer. Grab some, try it out. Local beer is always a great way to just kind of get into the local culture, the local scene, and a lot of them have beers in their local areas that you might not be able to get somewhere else. You might find your new favorite beer. You might find a new style you like. Um, there's just all kinds of options for you when you're traveling, when you go to a new place, to try their beer, try their food. That's something that I love to do, and I always do, no matter where I go. If it's the Windy City, if it's Indianapolis, if it's down to Florida, into Canada, Wisconsin, you go to those places and you just try what they have to offer. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be let down. I personally have never been let down. I'm pretty open in my likes and dislikes with beer, with food. There's not a whole lot of beer that I don't like, and there's not really a whole lot of food I don't like either. So it's a lot easier for me. But the Rona, I just ask everybody. I know it's serious. I know it's the real deal. I know bad things have happened and are happening. I know there's groups going out on both spectrums of everything. But just everybody be safe, be smart, and definitely keep your local businesses afloat. Help your local businesses when you can. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, wait until you do. But you definitely have to help support your local businesses. I've been drinking for well over 20 years now, and when I started drinking, it was your Bud Lights, your Coors Lights, your Miller Lights, your main stuff. I was lucky enough to have the Andersons within an hour drive of my home, so we'd drive there once I turned 21, and I'd get your Fosters, the Tsingtaos, all of those different beers that you couldn't get, before you were 21, or really you weren't supposed to get before you were 21. You could pretty readily get Bud Lights and your domestic beers, as they call them, and called them then. Bigfoot Barley Wine Ale was a huge one. That was the first barley wine ale I ever tried when I was 21. and that one still sticks with me to this day. It was one of the harshest, strongest beers I've ever drank in my life. Would I drink another one? Oh, absolutely. I'd definitely drink another one. But I'd do it differently. I wish when I would have first bought that 4-pack of those back in '03, I really wish that I would have aged some of them because, man, I bet those things are just killer after a few years. Much like this Sierra Nevada Celebration Ale from 2010. It's delicious. I mean, the hoppiness it's almost non-existent. You taste the hoppiness, but you don't really get that bam kick of hoppiness. And this is an all-around, it's a good beer. You can definitely tell that Sierra Nevada takes great care in their process, takes great care in their ingredients. I mean, right here on the bottle, purest ingredients, finest quality. I would have to say that they go well above and beyond the majority of brewers out there. I will say that the Sierra Nevada, I've drank them many times before, but now this definitely brings me back to Sierra Nevada, back to try some more of their stuff. So I definitely will. Like I said, they did a good job here with this beer. I'm sure I probably wouldn't have said that same thing in 2010, but here we are 10 years later. That's the last bottle I've got. This possibly could be the last bottle of Sierra Nevada 2010 Celebration in existence, and I just drank it. It's gone. So this could be, honestly, the last bottle. Just think about that for a minute. Just like really think about that for just, maybe a minute, 30 seconds or a minute. Think about that. This possibly could be the absolutely last bottle in the world. And I just drank it. This guy right here just drank it. And I'm going to do that with a lot of beers. I've got a cellar full of beers that have aged from anywhere from 6 months on up to 10 years. Might even have a few 12 years in there. I've got a 6-pack from 1993 or 92, 96, somewhere in there. Three Stooges beer, Panther Brewing Company. You can look it up. I've got a 6-pack of Curly, Larry, and Moe sitting back in my cellar. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm ever going to open those up, or even one of them up. But there's a chance I might sometime. We'll have to just wait and see. But I've got a lot of other beers, different beers that it's not going to be the everyday beer. When I do these episodes, I'm probably just going to sit here. I'm probably just going to talk a little bit. This first episode might be a little different than the second episode and the third episode, but I'm going to bring you beer that you are not going to be able to get in the stores most of the time. Sometimes. I won't lie to you. Sometimes. Because I'm not going to have a cellar full of beer that I can just keep whipping out. So I'm going to try some beers I just get at the store or that I've gotten from the store. I'm going to try every beer, though. I'm not going to be strictly on Sierra Nevada, Sam Adams, Dogfish, New Glarus, Braxton. I'm not going to be on one thing or another. I'll throw in some old styles here and there. I might go and get a Natty Boh. You never know. But I'm going to come out, I'm going to tell you about the beer, I'm going to drink the beer, and I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to shoot you straight on these. I know Budweiser comes out with some beers here and there. They had a Copper, a Jim Beam, a few other ones that they've come out with. So I plan on maybe bringing you some of that, but for the most part, I'm going to go with your independent craft breweries. Not really the main domestic stuff. I'm going to try to stay away from the domestics, in all honesty. I'm not a huge fan of domestics. If people like them, that's great for them, but that's not what I'm about. That's not what this is about. this is about an idea that I've had in my head for a long time now. About a YouTube show with me just hanging out, drinking beer, and talking. Um, so that's what I'm doing. I hope people do enjoy. I hope everybody's staying safe and having fun safely, responsibly. That's the big thing. You just have to stay safe, stay responsible. Drinking out in everyday life. Age your beer. That's that's another point I'll get to in all these shows, these episodes, is that you've got to do what you want. Okay, I'm probably one of the most eccentric people you're ever going to meet in your entire life. How many people in this world do you know that have a beer from 2010, that have saved a beer from 2010, 10-year-old beer, and they're drinking it? You saw me open her up, you saw me pour it, you saw all of it. It's right here on camera. And this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be coming to you guys live. I'm going to be showing you the collection of beers that I've got, the aged beers. I want to come out episode 1 big time. I think I did that with a 2010 celebration by Sierra Nevada. I'll tell you, it's smooth. I mean, this is a smooth beer, malty. I wouldn't go with it's real complex by any means, but you can definitely get some citrus notes on the palate there. Malty, definitely the molasses. That's what I smell here. I smell a lot of molasses, and you smell a little bit of the citrus in that. This is good. It is. It's honestly, it's a good beer. And there's a lot of residue in there, but it's all good, I just want to thank everyone and anyone who tunes into this. I hope you do enjoy it. This one might have been a little long-winded. It's my first episode, a little nervous. But I'm going to be bringing you a lot of unique experiences via, my basement. Is how we're coming at you. But we're going to have fun with this. I hope to have fun with this. I hope that I don't come across like anything that I'm not. I'm just a normal, dorky, eccentric guy from Ohio, and I like beer. I really like beer. I like to drink beer because it tastes good. That's why I drink your off-the-wall beers. That's why I've got a cellar where I age beers. That's why I've got a fridge that I age beers. I've been aging beers for a long time now. And like I said, when I started drinking, there was red, white, and blue in the garage refrigerator. If anybody can remember red, white, and blue, it's old school stuff. Your Strohs, your Rainiers. I think that my passion started with my father, who got some Rainier beer from Washington before you could get it anywhere around Ohio. Got it from there. That was really the point for me, and that was before I was 21, long before I was 21. But it was like, there's beer from other places that's good. Once I turn 21, I'm going to hit up every possible beer I can. And right when I hit 21, one of my first stops, like I said earlier, was a place called Anderson's, where you could get all kinds of beer from around the world. And I sure as heck did. And I've never turned back. I've tried probably, I couldn't even put a number on how many different beers I've tried. I guarantee it's in the thousands, probably in the tens of thousands, because I'll go to a place, like I said, anywhere I'm visiting. We're just going through on a trip, and I'll stop by a brewery. I'll have some beers, or I'll stop by the liquor store or the grocery store, and I'll get some beers, and I'll drink them, save some, and that's just how I've always been. I've always been a person that once I got to the legal age, I said I wasn't going to be stuck drinking your domestic stuff, your normal beers or what everybody's drinking or what you can get at any corner store or any gas station or any bar, pretty much in the United States. That's not me. That's never going to be me, so I've shied away from it. Excuse me. But I'm going to bring you guys, like I said, different beers, beers that you can't get everywhere, beers that some of you may have never heard of. I hope we have fun doing this journey. I know I'm going to try to have some fun doing the journey. I'm going to be drinking beers that I'm breaking out that are 10 years old and plus. Might venture to some other things. I do have some Jim Beam, 50 years old, 60 years old, at least I think around here. Well, I know there is some in the fridge, but I've got some of it. I might hit into that, tell you how that is. But I'm just going to go back. If your beer has an ABV of, like this one is 6.8, I think I said 6.8, okay? Your beer has an ABV of 6 or higher, or is hoppy, like super hoppy. Any IPA you can age, and it will be perfectly fine. Any one of them. You can age anything. You can age any beer you like. People have aged cheese and meat and everything else for years. Why not age beer? If you can have the patience, then you do it. All right? So, hey, this has been Derek Egler for What's on Tap. Hope you guys enjoy it. I hope I wasn't too long-winded with you. If I was, sorry. I'll try to make it shorter. You can leave me a comment that you absolutely hated it, that I need to do something different. Don't quit my day job, whatever it may be. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I want to make this show awesome, cool. I want to make it fun for everyone. I want to give people something to enjoy during this time that we're all going through with this pandemic of this Rona. This Rona is really hurting a lot of things, and I don't want to see, I don't want to see more things get hurt by this. So just leave me a comment. You can like it, you can hate it. You're not going to hurt my feelings at all. Give me opinions on how to make it better. And what you'd like to see me drink. I can always try to make it a point to go pick some of that up. Or if you want, you by all means can send me beer. I'm not going to tell you no. You want me to try a beer, you let me know. If I can't find it, somebody else finds it, they want to send it, more power to them. I'm cool with that. But like I said, I'll drink anything beer-wise as long as it's not opened already. I brew my own beer, so I might be breaking some of those out for everybody as well, telling you about them. I honestly, Sierra Nevada 2010 Celebration Ale, I would not give it a 10 on the scale. That's reserved for one beer that I still do have cellared, that I've drank some of, and that was at 1.5 years. I'm going to wait till 2-year point to drink that, bring that to you. But that is my number one top beer of all time. And that one you'll have to wait. You definitely have to wait to get that one. I'm gonna put a little question mark on what that one is, but it's a good one. It's awesome. It's delicious. You can only get it in one place that I know of. So we're gonna visit that eventually. But thank everybody for tuning in. Again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Also, anybody else celebrate a birthday? Happy birthday. For What's on Tap, Derek Egler. Everybody keep on drinking. Egler out.